Hello, I am Michael, the current Land Stewardship Coordinator at East Quabbin Land Trust. I'll be walking you through how to use the app iNaturalist to identify flora and fauna at our preserves and beyond. I should also mention here that you will need a smartphone to download the app in the App Store. We are interested in using iNaturalist for the purpose of identifying specific plants and wildlife species found on East Quabbin Land Trust preserves, with the specific focus on three properties, which are Deer Park down the road from the Land Trust office in Hardwick, Pynchon's Grist Mill in West Brookfield, and Henry's Grove in Hubbardston. Environmental data on the species you observe, such as time, date, and location, is collected to gauge the species' presence or absence. Specific species found on the property will be noted at the kiosks at trailheads to encourage exploration. You can help us build on the inventory of each location by uploading your identification to iNaturalist, which I will walk you through in the next following slides. iNaturalist is a community-based identification app sharing local biodiversity, strengthening broader wildlife population databases. The app identifies plants and wildlife through the camera of your phone or by selecting photos from your photo library. Pictures of plants and other wildlife are identified through artificial intelligence in the app. The species with the most visual similarities are listed based on accuracy, selecting the most accurate species. Uploading observations adds them to a broader database with other identifiers and other observations. This community can share knowledge to correct or validate an observation. A pinpoint on the map is made once an observation is uploaded to your account for future reference. In order to save observations to a list and gain community input, you must create and log into your account. This also allows you to upload your observations to be seen on the map. To the right, you will see a screenshot of what the app should look like when you download from the App Store. Now I know what you're thinking. Are we going to have service out in the field to use the app? While our preserves certainly have spotty service, the iNaturalist app allows observations to be saved even without proper identification. When identifying in areas with no service, it is important to save the photo to your account in order to identify further and upload your observation to gain community input. Are you experiencing multiple issues with iNaturalist or can't seem to figure it out? Try Seek by iNaturalist. See slide 16 at the end for further information on the differences between iNaturalist and Seek by iNaturalist. One important distinction I must make is the difference between the different iNaturalist apps. The application has existed for quite some time in various stages. The original app was created with one purpose being wildlife identification through artificial intelligence and community input. This original app is shown on the left, iNaturalist Classic, which is available for all smartphones, including iPhones and Androids. The app to the left performs all the same functions as the Classic app. However, this app includes improved artificial intelligence software and a broader observation community. Pressing the Observe button at the bottom of the screen begins the identification process. After pressing the Observe button at the bottom, the screen then shows you some options before you can identify. Before choosing an option, you may need to allow camera access. The options given for identifying include taking a picture of your subject with your phone camera, selecting one or more photos from your photo library in your phone, and recording a sound to identify, such as bird calls. There are multiple ways to observe wildlife using iNaturalist. The first way is to take a picture directly from your phone's camera. Just point and shoot to collect an observation, making sure each picture of the species is clear. The next way is to select photos from your photo library. This allows you to select observations from the past to identify. If your phone saves the location for each photo, iNaturalist will pull this data into the app along with the identification. Taking multiple photos from different angles helps the artificial intelligence confidently identify the nature to identify through iNaturalist, such as bird chirps. On the right, you can see I made two photo selections of the species to help ID. Once an observation is made, the time, date, and location are given. Observations are compared with photos of other visually similar species in the area that artificial intelligence detects. Species identifications are organized based on confidence, with the most confident being shown at the top. Suggestions and other top suggestions are listed below. Uploaded observations are confirmed and corrected by other iNaturalist observers in the community. On the right at the top, you can see the prompt showing up with an observation is made for you to select the most fitting identification, and the identification itself being shown to the right at the bottom. Observations made are shared to your list where they will be uploaded to broader databases in iNaturalist. Once your observations are uploaded, they are visible to observers on iNaturalist who help confirm or correct any observation. If the upload process isn't prompted automatically, you will have to press the green upload button to get started. Once the observation is uploaded, it will appear just like the other observations in your list. Once your observations are fully uploaded onto your iNaturalist, you will then be able to see a pinpoint created at your observation site detailing environmental data like time and location. This version of the app does have some limiting factors due to the GPS software limiting the number of pinpoints shown on the app. iNaturalist for desktop allows for full access to the observations, including sorting by species. This updated version of iNaturalist functions in the same way the original app through AI and community wildlife identification. However, the user experience is slightly different. Allowing access to the camera and photo library in your phone leads to full access to identification features on the app. Pressing the camera button at the bottom of the screen opens up the AI camera in the app. This interface identifies species in real time, even without capturing a picture. Once an identified species is shown at the bottom, or shown at the top, you can capture the photo to learn more and save onto your list. Additional options are visible through pressing and holding the camera button at the bottom. This brings up multiple options, including opening the camera itself, opening the photo library on your phone, and having a microphone record sounds. Observing species is very similar to iNaturalist Classic with all the same functions. Some additional features include mapping of specific species observed where it has been found in other locations. Identification has also made easier through strengthened AI, removing the need for additional pictures and angles. Once an observation is made, the most confident identification is shown up top with additional suggestions below ordered by percent confidence. This process is also very similar to iNaturalist Classic. The uploading process, however, observations never upload automatically, like iNaturalist Classic rather, making it especially important to ensure your observations are uploaded to get the most out of your observations. The arrow in a dotted circle to the left shows an observation needing to be uploaded, then the observation begins to upload when you tap the arrow. Lastly, a correctly uploaded observation will have a green check next to it just after uploading, like on the right. Mapping with iNaturalist with the updated app of iNaturalist includes improved GIS software, allowing for more observations to be visible on the app. The data available on the updated app, resembles that of the desktop version with full access to observation data points. This update also allows for sorting of observation points to specific species to separate specific observations or species of interest. To the right, you can see the resemblance between the desktop app on the top to the updated iNaturalist map. You can also see an additional map showing the sorting feature isolating gray birch populations. If you're having multiple issues using the other iNaturalist apps on your phone, the Seek app might be the one for you. The Seek by iNaturalist app is more beginner-friendly and easier to use, with some game-like achievements and challenges encouraging engagement. After opening the app and enabling your location and photo permissions, you'll be greeted by the screen to the left, or screen to the right, rather. Most abundant species in the area are listed by other observers at the top. To make an observation yourself, similar to the other iNaturalist apps, you press the bottom camera button, which opens the AI camera similar to updated iNaturalist. An account is required for sharing observations with science and the community, and that is an important limitation of the Seek app. Lastly, before you go collecting observations, one final important reminder is to save all observations to your list if able, or at the least save all photos to your phone's library. This allows pictures to be taken despite lack of service and to be referenced later for proper identification. Without completing this step, your observations may not be saved, which means they don't contribute to scientific data on our properties. Worst case, if observations aren't able to be uploaded online afterward, you can always email your observations to my listed email below. Thank you so much for joining me for this presentation, and have fun observing and identifying with iNaturalist.